Ever wonder what our world will look like in 50 years if we continue on our current path? Climate change, a product of rampant greenhouse gases, is painting a daunting picture for our future. This isn't just about warmer summers. It's about rising sea levels, melting ice caps, and a myriad of devastating changes that could alter life as we know it. The stark truth is that our planet is in peril. Dive into the pressing issue of climate change with us as we count down 20 undeniable facts. Fact number 20, greenhouse gases have reached levels unseen in 4.5 million years. Picture this. Our atmosphere now mirrors that of the Pliocene age, an era when Earth was significantly warmer and sea levels were drastically higher. This is not a sci-fi movie plot, but the stark reality of our present situation. We've turned back the climatic clock to a time when prehistoric creatures roamed a warmer, wilder world. The Earth is heating up, and our actions are to blame. At number 19, since the Industrial Revolution, the global temperature has increased by over 1 degree Celsius. This rise in temperature is not just an obscure statistic, it's a reality that our planet is grappling with every single day. If you look at the past 6 years, they've been the hottest on record. This isn't a fluke, it's a trend and a disturbing one at that. Moving on to number 18. Over the last century, sea levels have risen approximately 20 centimeters. This rise isn't just due to melting ice sheets and glaciers, although they certainly play a role. It's also because of the thermal expansion of seawater. As the ocean warms, its volume expands, and this leads to rising sea levels. Our world is getting hotter and our seas are rising, and the consequences are dire. Fact 18 and 17, the ice sheets in Greenland and Antarctica are melting at an alarming rate. The sheer scale of these ice giants is hard to fathom, and their decline even more so. From 1992 to 2018, Greenland lost an average of 278 billion tons of ice annually. To put it in perspective, that's like losing the weight of 500,000 Great Pyramids of Giza every year. Meanwhile, Antarctica wasn't far behind, shedding about 148 billion tons annually. But it's not just the ice sheets that are vanishing. Glaciers worldwide are shrinking rapidly. Since 1961, they have lost over 9 trillion tons of ice. Imagine, if you will, the weight of 27 billion elephants vanishing from the face of the Earth. These massive losses are causing sea levels to rise, threatening coastal communities around the world. The consequences of this are far-reaching, affecting not just humans, but countless species that rely on these icy habitats. Our polar regions are disappearing before our eyes. At number 14, the acidity of our oceans is on the rise. This is a consequence of our oceans absorbing about 30% of human-emitted carbon dioxide since the Industrial Revolution. This absorption process, known as ocean acidification, increases the water's acidity, which has a damaging effect on marine life. One of the most striking victims of this phenomenon are coral reefs, which are vital ecosystems that house over a quarter of all marine species. These reefs are dying off due to the warming and acidifying waters combined with pollution. In just the last 3 decades, we've lost about half of the world's coral reefs. This loss is not only a blow to biodiversity, but also to the hundreds of millions of people who depend on reefs for their livelihoods. Our oceans are in peril, and the life within them is suffering. Fact number 13, we're experiencing a significant decline in biodiversity. The natural world teems with a dizzying array of life, but this complex web is unraveling at an alarming rate. Today, the rate of species loss is estimated to be up to 1,000 times higher than natural rates. This rapid decline puts over 1 million species at risk of blinking out forever. These losses don't just rob us of nature's beauty, they disrupt vital ecological services like pollination and water purification, threatening our own survival in the process. Moving to fact number 11, deforestation is happening at an accelerated pace. Forests, which cover about 30% of Earth's land surface, are being cleared for various human activities. From 1990 to 2020, we've lost forest area equivalent to the size of Libya. Our forests, the lungs of our planet, are disappearing, and with them, our biodiversity. Fact number 11, desertification is happening at an accelerated pace. Desertification refers to the persistent degradation of dry land ecosystems by human activities and climate variations. It's not just about the spread of sand dunes, but about the loss of biological or economic productivity and complexity in arid, semi-arid, and dry subhumid areas. It's caused by a variety of factors, including overgrazing, deforestation, and poor irrigation practices. Moving on to fact number 9. Droughts are becoming more frequent and severe. Droughts are periods of unusually dry weather that persist long enough to cause serious problems such as crop damage and water supply shortages. They affect every aspect of life, from agriculture to health, economy to biodiversity. Lastly, fact number 8. Floods are intensifying and causing more destruction. They result from an overflow of water onto normally dry land. This is often due to excessive rain, a river overflowing its banks, or a dam breaking. Our lands are drying up, our water sources are dwindling, and our cities are flooding. At number 7, wildfires are covering larger areas and lasting longer. Fueled by drier conditions and warmer temperatures, these fires are now an annual event in many parts of the world. The impact is not just localized. The smoke and soot from these fires can travel thousands of miles, affecting air quality and human health far from the fire's origin. Moving on to number 6, deadly heat waves are becoming more common. As global temperatures continue to rise, we're seeing a record-breaking number of extreme heat events. These aren't just uncomfortable, they're lethal, especially for vulnerable populations like the elderly and those with underlying health conditions. At number 5, storms are growing more powerful and destructive. With warmer sea surface temperatures fueling more intense hurricanes and typhoons, we're faced with increasing damage and loss of life. Our world is catching fire, boiling over, and being torn apart. Fact number 4, climate change is having adverse effects on human health. As the Earth warms, we're seeing a rise in heat-related illnesses such as heat exhaustion and heat stroke. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Climate change is also leading to an increase in vector-borne diseases like malaria and dengue, as warmer temperatures create more hospitable environments for mosquitoes, not to mention the impact on mental health. The stress and anxiety of dealing with extreme weather events such as hurricanes or wildfires can lead to long-term psychological trauma. And let's not forget about respiratory issues. More frequent and intense wildfires mean more smoke and air pollution, which can exacerbate conditions like asthma and lead to other respiratory problems. Moving on to fact number 3, food security is being threatened by climate change. As temperatures rise and rainfall patterns become more unpredictable, crop yields are decreasing. This is particularly concerning for regions that are already food insecure. Moreover, as the oceans warm and become more acidic, we're also seeing declines in fish stocks, which is a critical source of protein for many communities around the world. And lastly, fact number 2, climate change is causing migration and displacement. As sea levels rise, coastal communities are being forced to move inland. Similarly, prolonged droughts are driving people away from arid regions. It's estimated that by the middle of this century, we could see anywhere from tens of millions to 1 billion climate migrants. To put it bluntly, our health, our food, and our homes are under threat. But remember, knowledge is power. Understanding these impacts is the first step towards taking action to mitigate the effects of climate change. Finally, at number 1, climate change is fueling conflict and violence. As resources become scarce due to changing weather patterns and environmental degradation, competition intensifies. Water scarcity, failing crops, and dwindling fish stocks are just a few examples of how climate change can spark disputes and even wars. Many conflicts today are not just about power and politics, but also about survival in a changing world. But here's the thing, it's not all doom and gloom. There is still hope. We can combat climate change. It starts with understanding and acknowledging the problem. Then we must take action. Reduce, reuse, recycle, support renewable energy. Advocate for policies that protect our environment. Every little bit helps. It's not too late to change course. Each one of us can make a difference. It's time to act for our planet, for our future. That wraps up our countdown for today. If you found this video informative and helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family to spread awareness about climate change. Thanks for watching.